Now, from the University of Okoboji, it's Okoboji Broadcast with Jeff Thee.
Welcome to Okoboji Broadcast, everybody. I'm Jeff Thee, coming to you from the Dickinson County Museum. History coming alive here. Mary Dreier, the director, with me once again.
Here we are again, Jeff.
Here we are again. And
it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, sunny, and that's nice.
Beautiful. We should have found a place outside to do this today.
Well, okay.
Next nice day.
Next nice day we get it.
Yeah.
This is part 2 of, you're going to be having your cemetery walk coming up here at the Okoboji Cemetery in Arnold's Park, yes.
Yeah, that's kind of bizarre. You have to explain to people that Okoboji Cemetery is in Arnold's Park, but that's the way it is. And our cemetery walk is this Sunday, June 2nd. We're having 2 tours, one at 4 o'clock and one at 5 o'clock. Mm-hmm. You can choose when to come. It is important, though, that you come down to the Bascom Street entrance, the east entrance to the cemetery. And, you know, another gal and I were out walking the cemetery yesterday, just kind of doing the logistics of her route. It is just beautiful out there, Jeff.
Yeah. It
is just an incredibly beautiful, peaceful cemetery on the shores of Lake Minnewaska.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Well, last week we looked at 3 different characters of Lake's legacy that are being portrayed by actors. And this week we're going to look at another 3. We
have chosen just a random bunch of people whose names most of us have heard of, at least, and some of us remember some of these people, some not so much. But I think folks are going to really enjoy the variety of people that we've chosen. For instance, one of the people who is going to be visiting with folks at the cemetery on Sunday is Bessie Jones. Now, do you remember Bessie Jones at all?
I don't. It doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't ring a bell? How would it be if I called her Madam Bessie?
That would ring a bell, yes.
Bessie Jones was the fortune teller at the Arnold's Park amusement park for years. She actually started, and I can hardly believe this, she started working at the park in 1929.
Oh my goodness.
And I can remember her. She had black hair when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And she wore kind of long skirts.
Right.
You know, just kind of what you would expect.
Sure.
And as I remember it, and my memory might be faulty on this, but I remember her little area being under the roof garden. And you'd look in and there's kind of a big door, and she had a table set up, and it was like purples and reds and oranges and yellows, bright colors. And she had her crystal ball there.
I was going to say, did she have a crystal ball?
I think I remember it. I've been looking for a photo of her at the park, and we have not found one yet.
Okay.
If anybody has one, we would love to see it and make a copy of it. But she was just kind of a fixture at the park. Her whole family were. Many family members worked at different attractions at the park. I know one of her, I don't know if it was her husband or brother-in-law, did there was a bell on a big stick.
Right.
And you would hit it with a mallet.
And you slam with the sledgehammer?
You'd slam it with a sledgehammer, and if you could ring the bell, you got a fabulous prize.
I bet it was fabulous.
And I was talking with my friend Bob Betcher last Wednesday.
Yeah.
About this, and he remembers that well. And he was at the park a lot because he was a roller skate guy.
Oh,
and
in the pavilion there.
Yes, and this was very close to the roller skating rink, and the guy who ran it showed Bob how to win every time, and it was by nicking just the edge of the...
Don't hit it flat.
Don't hit it flat, hit just the edge, and you'll win every time. And he would, when business was slow, he'd have Bob come over and he'd say, show him how to do this. And Bob, of course, knowing the trick, could ring the bell every time. So Bessie Jones is one of the people that we're going to be portraying.
Okay.
Mindy Trong is going to be acting as Bessie, and she's very excited about this. She's I don't know exactly what she's doing, but I do believe that she will be portraying Bessie very, very well.
Okay. Now, how are these people preparing for their roles?
Well, here at the museum, we've done a lot of research on each of the people.
Okay.
And Frank has compiled kind of basic facts about each person. We've also gotten newspaper clippings, we've gotten obituaries, we've been searching for photographs, we've been talking to people. And so we've used multiple ways to find out about these folks because, it's really fun, I might tell you.
It has to be fun, yes. Who else are we going to meet on Sunday?
Well, we have another gentleman who's kind of the exact opposite of Madam Bessie, the fortune teller. We have Jacob Hinshaw, who was a pastor, as was his wife, Hannah, and they founded the Friends Church in Arnold's Park. In 1892, I believe the church was founded. And to me, what's interesting is that Jacob's wife was a pastor also. You know, that surprised me when I read that. And they founded other churches. They were kind of evangelists and would travel to other churches to preach also.
Sure.
But the church is there because of the Hinshaw family.
Okay.
And there are descendants of the Hinshaws around to this day in the area. So that's
which is kind of nice because not everybody has progeny that has still here.
Right, right. And we have a third guy who actually also has progeny around the area, since we're using big words. And this is a gentleman that whose name we see a lot around here, and whose work we use a lot, especially in the wintertime, and that is Zeke Wilson. Zeke comes from a family that's very well known around the area. He's related to just about all the earliest of people. Zeke loved to fish. He absolutely loved to fish, and he loved to be around the water. He lived. The Wilson Boat Works was where Mount Marine is now.
Right.
And I even remember seeing Zeke as a kid fishing on the dock down where Zeke's bait shop is now as part of the Okoboji store.
Yes.
That's where Zeke fished, and Zeke had a boat shop and a bait shop in that very building.
That would have been a good spot to have a location.
No kidding, no kidding. And Zeke used a cane pole. He didn't go in for newfangled things. He used cans for worms. He was an old-time fisherman and he loved to tell stories while he fished. Bill Moss is going to be portraying Zeke, and it's so appropriate because they were good friends. And so he knows a lot about Zeke, and he knows a lot of Zeke's stories.
That's neat.
And he knows
somebody
Zeke's
with first-hand knowledge.
Right.
Yes.
Zeke worked on the Queen in the early days. He actually ran the swing bridge between the lakes. You know, back when guys had to actually turn the bridge, physically turn the bridge, he did that. And he also worked on the White Eagle speedboat for 4 summers. And later on, that boat would collide with the Miss Thriller. You know, we've talked about the Miss Thriller accident before. Well, Zeke ran the White Eagle before that happened. And many of us know Zeke. His name comes up every spring at the ice out dates because he kept track for decades and decades and decades of when the lakes froze over and also the ice out dates. We have him to thank for keeping track of all that important history for us.
Thank goodness somebody did that. You know, I mean, you know, if nobody had written it down, he was absolutely, you know, did it year after year.
Zeke did it.
And now we can look back and, 1932, ice out.
One of the things that I'm enjoying about the people that we've chosen for this is that several of them are just like you and me, just ordinary folks.
Sure.
Who, you know, maybe did things a little differently or whatever, but we're not just focusing on the hoity-toities and the leaders of society, and I think that is going to make it even more fun.
Well, everybody makes a contribution. Every walk of life, you know, and sometimes it catches somebody's attention and they remember it and can tell the tale.
Yeah. yeah. So
I'm sure Zeke didn't think I'm doing anything. I'm out here with the pole fishing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And now we remember Zeke because of who he was and how he walked on this earth and how he fished the fish in the lakes.
So we'll have a chance to walk and talk with them this Sunday.
Yeah.
2 different tours, you said?
2 different tours at 4 o'clock and at 5 o'clock. Doesn't matter which one you come to.
Okay.
Meet at the East Gate, that gate that's on Bascom. And we'll get you split up into sections. We'll have tour guides that will take you from tombstone to tombstone, from storyteller to storyteller. And we'll have some more information about the history of the actual cemetery. It's going to be a good day.
What a fun way to learn some history almost firsthand.
Yeah, and I did want to say, the forecast is looking a little iffy for Sunday, so be sure to check our Facebook page for up-to-the-minute cancellations, or it wouldn't be a cancellation, it'd be a postponement,
right?
If need be. And we'll make that decision by noon on Sunday.
Very good.
So we'll all know.
Well, we haven't had that much iffy weather lately. So.
Oh, gosh. It's...
I just got done mowing that long, you know.
My grass is like that too. That's what I'm doing tonight.
Before we go, way back Wednesdays, every Wednesday right here, 10 a.m.
Yep. On June 19th, we're going to be going up to Templar Park. We're going to be on the go again.
Oh, yeah.
John Smeltzer's going to be there to show us exactly where the buildings were and what was where and where the ponds were and where the golf course was and all this stuff. And everybody is invited to join us for that.
Very good. Yeah. Pictures don't make it real. To stand there and go, this is the cornerstone here. You know what I mean? And So fantastic.
Yeah. So we're really pleased that John's willing to do that with us.
All right. Outstanding, Mary, as always. Thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you for coming, Jeff.
All right, keep the history alive.
We've got to do that.
Mary Dreier again here from the Dickinson County Museum. As I said before, history comes alive here, my friends. It's really coming alive in the Okoboji Cemetery this upcoming Sunday. We want to thank Mary for her time, and as always, we thank you for watching us right here on Okoboji Broadcast.
Okoboji Broadcast from the studios at historic Arnold's Park Amusement Park is brought to you in part by West Wealth Management, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, advisor Jan Spielman, AJ Spielman, and Erica Wachholz. The headquarters of the University of Okoboji is at the Three Sons, open Monday through Saturday 10 to 5 and Sunday from 10 to 4. Bank Midwest, dream big, plan wisely, live well. Lakes Regional Healthcare and Avera Partner. Beck Engineering in Spirit Lake. Be Radiant Laser Skin Studio in the Okoboji Plaza in Okoboji.